Hi everybody, it's so great to be here with you today. My name is Kirsty Bissett and I am the MD of communications agency Have You Heard? We're a company that believes in immersing ourselves in culture in order to influence it. So you can imagine how full the last 2 years have been, and especially in retail and for our retail clients. The pandemic lockdowns clearly showed how people turn more towards digital channels to be entertained, to stay connected to friends and family, and of course to shop. In retail, I'm sure we've all felt like we're building the plane on the way down, yeah? There's been a rapid escalation and acceleration of where we predicted we would go. And the pandemic has put us a few years ahead of those retail trends, such as e commerce. We conduct a number of studies for our clients around the world, and something that keeps rearing its head is social integration. So, I want to break down kind of our interpretation of this term, as it can be interpreted in so many different ways. Social media isn't the exclusive direction we're kind of going in when we say the word social. Lest we forget that before social media, the word social actually had another meaning. A meaning pertaining to people, to relationships, to word of mouth, to referrals, to influence without Instagram. Given this, opportunities are endless, but I don't feel like they're harnessed correctly. Social commerce is a subset of electronic commerce where social and online media play a part in supporting social interaction and user contributions to assist with buying and selling of products and services. But I don't believe that social selling or social commerce, which isn't necessarily a new phenomenon, is being harnessed effectively in SA. But somewhere that is getting it right is China. Chinese mobile apps are highly interactive and optimized for engagement. Consumers can join chat groups, watch live streams, share recommendations with friends, all within one app. In SA, we have chat and shopping and live streaming across, for example, WhatsApp, Zara, and YouTube. But this means there are constant discussions and appraisals happening around products. So in China, as a result, unlike Western consumers who tend to begin their journeys with a search engine, Chinese shoppers start with a mobile shopping app, engaging with brand content, interacting and sharing recommendations with friends before making a purchase. And consequently, it's easier, faster, and more convenient to shop. And according to CNBC, Alibaba and JD.com racked up around $115 billion in sales across their platforms during the last Singles Day shopping event, both of these setting new records. And for both, interestingly, foreign brands were a big focus, as shoppers who would usually be going abroad to buy foreign products were expected to purchase them in China due to travel restrictions. So we can't ignore this, as the value of social commerce sales worldwide is expected to reach almost $605 billion by 2027, which is an increase of about 400% since 2018. And then the last part, integration. Now, we've all seen this film before. Your CTO is pulling their hair out because the marketing team has a contrasting view, which filters down to sales or in-store or online with mixed messaging and consequently confuses customers. So how do we create multiple layers of influence within every single touch point in your business and every touch point your customer experiences to affect sales and reputation? For us, that's the question that needs to be answered in order to perfect social selling integration. So in the next few minutes, I'm hoping to answer that question for you. And I couldn't imagine a better time to pay more attention to this. And why is that? Well, due to the acceleration of online that I mentioned earlier, we have a new type of customer, one that is savvy, one that is curious, and one that holds a lot of data. To fully understand your customers and the success of your retail strategies, you need to collect data online, collect data in store, through your consumers and internally, so you're able to create a very clear view of your customer to improve the experience even more. Researching the social purchasing behaviors of your existing and potential customers can help you gain insight into their attitudes and expectations for the experience. We need to use this data to shape your omni-channel strategies and gain quality insight into social purchasing behaviors. So I'm going to go into detail on each of these 4 levels of influence to optimize your social selling integration. So let's break down these 4 pillars, and we're going to start with our consumers. Now, as you know, and I'm sure you've seen, customer expectations across the globe have skyrocketed. Your customers now expect personalized interactions regardless of channel, as well as a great customer experience every single time. And especially coming out of lockdown, 2 of the biggest mega trends of 2022 are personalization and experiences. Consumers aren't settling for becoming just a number. And there are a few things that we can do to move consumers into that kind of holy grail of becoming unpaid brand ambassadors or brand advocates, where they vouch for you just because they want to. And one of those ways is to create with customers and create for them. So we need to design and co-create with our consumers. We need to allow customers to clarify and confirm the experience challenge, involve customers in problem identification and solution building, and use tools like co-creation or journey mapping to design exceptional end-to-end experiences. We also need to kind of build this culture of customer experience. And this is very challenging, of course, and there's a lot that goes into that. And it's probably several years in the making. But what organizations can start with is defining an authentic experience vision that aligns with your brand. Then everyone needs to get involved, from your juniors to your CEO. Everyone needs to understand and reinforce the customer vision constantly. And then we need to invest heavily in the employee experience, because if employees don't have the resources to deliver a great customer experience, it simply won't happen. We need to use training, hiring, rituals, routines to reinforce skills needed to deliver exceptional experiences. And you can hear by the words I'm using and what I'm saying how the integration comes into play here. None of these kind of pillars sit in a silo. So let's move on to the next pillar, which is online. We need to be asking, how is it as a salesperson, a CTO, a brand manager, a marketing director, CEO, how am I delivering content or value through all available channels to become of value to a wider audience, and then funnel that audience into some kind of buying cycle? Note how I didn't say delivering product through channels. I said content or value. Sure, brands can engage with customers on social media, but this is still very limited. Social selling and commerce breaks down those barriers between buyer and seller by creating a personal and friendly environment. This process is no longer just a transaction, it's a relationship. And one of the most authentic ways to build that relationship is through influence. Note how I didn't say influencers, because people who are influential aren't always influencers. And that could work the other way around. I could flip this around to say influencers don't necessarily equal influential people. People trust when people talk about brands more than what a brand says about itself. We need to shift our focus towards influence marketing at all touch points. When we have influence internally, online, in-store, and through consumers, authenticity really shines. Consumers perceive influencers as more genuine than brands they trust. They trust them more than brands. So if brands ask influencers to compromise on that, or if influencers themselves start to compromise on that kind of perceived authenticity, then that's going to close the gateway. We can see that appetite for authenticity and content growing through engagement rates because they're climbing. So that's because people really want to see real authentic content online that resonates with them. When they're not seeing, the perfect flat lay that, populated the feeds of Instagram, yesteryear. They want something that feels genuine. And that's where we're getting the term that you might have seen floating around, which I'm probably going to mess up, but genuine influencers, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it's important that we recognize it, because as soon as something has a buzzword, it's real in the industry. And genuine influencers is a term that's being used predominantly to talk about smaller or micro influencers, but particularly influencers who bear it all online, who put their real life online. They're not just posting pictures of them hopping on private jets or going to private islands. They're posting the nitty-gritty, the messy stuff. And that's what people really want to see going into 2022. So we're kind of asking our clients at the moment to just not be afraid to keep it a little bit messy with influence campaigns. And so we're moving into a space where content is greater than the creator. And I think this is certainly all TikTok's fault. It's a place where there's a constant stream of content without much focus on who it's coming from. And this further cements that no platform or stakeholder or advocate or influencer exists in a silo. Everything is integrated. Every consumer touch point must talk to each other. And I see this quite a lot. Online is hurting offline, and I really disagree with it. You would never hear something like this from a brand like Nike or even a retailer like Amazon. Because at the end of the day, Nike is trying to create a great experience for you. They want to build a great brand and sell you great shoes. And however you purchase, whatever your means to do so, they're happy with it. All of those feed into each other. Your future retailers are everywhere. If you want to sell to my nana, you have to have a great brick and mortar experience because she prefers to shop that way. But my best friend, she's looking to purchase things on Instagram. The store isn't dead. It's just reimagined to provide a new experience. So Nike has adapted its stores beautifully to create kind of a bespoke service for the customer, thanks to the information on their digital profile. And the store presents yet another channel to capture their data. In the midst of a pandemic, it opened a huge store in Paris. You go in and immediately it offers you interactive experiences. So it's mingling both online and offline data, and the whole point is to make the experience of shopping at Nike more intimate, more direct, and more kind of one-to-one. But I'd like to conclude this online section with a few key takeaways on the online retail space because its growth really can't be ignored. So site versus app, we get asked this quite a lot. Consumer demands and purchase behaviors are shifting, and digital shopping formats are spearheading this opportunity to sell, gather data, and create granular customer profiles. Research done by Vogue Business showed that purchases made on a brand site or app are almost double of those made via social media. My personal belief is that's not going to last long. With the advent of things like Instagram's Explore Shopping tab, shoppable Reels, TikTok shopping, these apps are removing more and more obstacles and more clicks to purchase. Then we have 50% on short videos. So according to Accenture, many brands have spent over 50% of their digital budgets on short video, shoppable technology, and live stream shopping content last year. Big corporations like L'Oreal, Shiseido, and Estee Lauder companies are all investing heavily in content production hubs because social commerce is driven by content. You need to produce a lot of short videos this year across different channels, and you need to be able to renew them quite quickly because your high quality content is driving conversion by up to 40%. Authenticity, like I've spoken about, is very, very important, and your live shopping's core value is that it brings the benefits of in-person shopping online to drive an informed, confident purchase. There's not much honest on the internet anymore, and it's impossible to know what is a good or bad product. Live stream shopping really boasts and bolsters that authenticity. It's a really good way to use influential people to showcase this kind of human element and talk about your brand and your brand values and then why your company exists. The growth of live shopping, again, just can't be ignored. Currently, only 1 in 10 US consumers have purchased from a live stream, but this is set to jump to 1 in 4 within about 6 years. Live stream shopping is already a popular way to shop in China, developing about a $300 billion industry in 2021, and accounting for almost 12% of all retail commerce sales. It's an emerging trend in the States too, where live streaming market is expected to surpass about $25 billion by 2023. And according to a McKinsey study, your conversion rates are approaching about 30%, so up to 10 times higher than in conventional e-commerce. The most showcased product categories are currently apparel and fashion, beauty, food, followed by consumer electronics and home decor. But why is this having such an impact on consumers? The beauty of the shoppable format is that brands can get as creative and sociable with their viewers as they want. Brands can connect with viewers by giving an exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the latest drops, style guides, design stories. And it's so exciting to see this move into kind of virtual shopping realm. There's also endless possibilities like in the metaverse and with NFTs. I have a whole keynote on that which we can chat about, but I have very limited time this afternoon. But what I can say is please solidify your live shopping strategies this year. We've seen resounding, measurable success with it, and it's such a fun, profitable way to engage with your customers. So our third pillar is in-store. As SA retailers, we're quite spoiled here, as SA shoppers still love going into a store. But there are a number of ways to integrate social selling in store. Of course, loyalty programs, they're not going anywhere. They really focus on creating such a lovely long-term relationship between brands and their customers through special incentives, discounts, rewards. Starbucks, for example, offers free drinks to customers who sign up to their reward scheme. And to make things more interesting, users can earn 2 stars for every dollar paid through the app with Starbucks card, and then be exchanged for different rewards. It's very simple, but very effective. But loyalty programs aren't always about rewards and amazing points. For those of you who kicked off the year with a New Year's resolution to get fit, you might have downloaded the Nike Plus app. So Nike's created a member-only program that redefines rewards programs for any active member. Through Nike Plus membership, members can access freebies and rewards such as birthday gifts, free shipping, etc., all by staying within the Nike Plus environment and, of course, providing data. Secondly, we can look to guiding with in-store positioning. When it comes to enhancing a shopper's experience, brands are leveraging digital wayfinding technology and inventory data to guide shoppers through their purchase journey. Indoor positioning apps calculate the shortest, most efficient route shoppers can take to get everything from their shopping list. And to broaden its mobile strategy, for example, Walgreens launched an in-store navigation app called Aisle 411, which offered pharmacy access and virtual mapping to all of its stores worldwide. Online retailers such as Target and Hointer also use in-store guidance solutions to provide a better in-store customer experience. In department stores, aisles stores can also use custom QR codes to display product information and communicate offers and discounts in a very engaging manner. Thirdly, we have AR. Beauty lovers will attest that trying out new makeup, hair color, lipstick can prove to be quite an expensive and time-consuming effort before finding a style that aligns with one's taste. So brands like L'Oreal, Maybelline, Sephora have invested in virtual try-on tools that lets customers try hundreds of makeup products all digitally. Furthermore, there's a lot of potential for this application of AR in interior design. Big furniture brands like Home Depot, Wayfair, Target, IKEA, they offer product visualization through AR apps. Interactive digital displays, so another way to spice things up in your physical store. These can be used to preview new products, search for a location, order products for home delivery, show special orders. And we're seeing the fast food industry was really, really quick to adopt this technology in order to reduce, long ordering lines. For instance, you'll see in many of the McDonald's stores, you can use an interactive digital display to make an order. Instead of queuing, you can sit down and wait for your order. And lastly, of course, your people in store. Allow your people to supplement technology through educating them, motivating them, and making sure that they are fully aware of the demands of your customer and how they can fulfill those through what you supply. Our final pillar of social selling integration is internal. In my opinion, one of the most important. We need to start looking at shared connection, creating a shared understanding of your customer. Very often there are pockets of the organization who understand the consumer. So it's advisable to create some kind of listening program. You have pockets of knowledge within your company. Create a shared program that all staff can give input in. Proactively share customer insights with all employees and spread out those insights so everyone can understand your customer and where they're coming from. We need to consider creative ways to collect and distribute customer feedback and creatively get your entire company to know your customer. So we agree that social selling integration strategies are revolutionizing retail. If we agree on that, we have to be asking ourselves, what's next for South African retail? My answer is a laser focus on social selling. And please understand, I didn't say my answer is social selling. I said my answer is a laser focus on it. This highly personal and customer-focused approach creates a community of consumers who can confidently put their trust into the brand. And I think this quote really sums it up beautifully. Today, many brands use the word community to describe what it is, in reality, customers. Community is not about a purchase or an add to cart. Community is about a common purpose, belief, or goal. If you start with the community, the commerce will come organically. Thank you so much for adding me to your cart of speakers this evening. If you would like to check out, you can mail me at the address shown here. But thank you for having me. I hope you have a lovely afternoon.